Hello, everyone. Good morning, and a very warm welcome to all to the closing ceremony of MSIL IT Security Week. The first MSIL IT Security Week was conducted from 31st of January 2022, and it is coming to an end today. IT Security Week was conducted with an objective to impart cybersecurity awareness, information security awareness, and data privacy awareness amongst the MSIL employees, dealers, vendors, and our colleagues at SMG and MIBPL. This week-long event constituted of 9 virtual events spread across 5 days, and the glorious business leaders from MSIL and speakers from esteemed industries. The session also included quizzes, which were highly appreciated by the people who joined the quizzes. COVID and social distancing couldn't stop the excitement, and we gathered a large number of eyeballs and footfalls into our event. But as all good things come to an end, we are today here at the closing ceremony. And with these comments, I would like to invite Mr. Ravi Bhushan, AGM IT Operations, to take us through the event recap and our journey. Over to you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Akanksha. Thank you. A very good morning to all the respected seniors and dear colleagues. It was an absolute privilege to host the first edition of Information Security Week. It's been a week full of interesting insights, a few wake up calls, and some alarming facts. In short, it has been a week with a critical dose of awareness and knowledge. A big thanks to all my respected seniors and colleagues for their time over the last 5 days. It was really heartening to see people from all the verticals joining in all the sessions and showing active participation. I'll give you a quick recap of what this week has been. So we started gearing up for the week with the participation, with the preparations, and creating a buzz around through posters, banners, app notifications, interactive voice responses, and public announcements through voice messages. And MD San kickstarted this event on on the 31st of January, and his message was very clear that information is the most critical asset, and therefore it needs to be protected accordingly. JMD San also took a leaf from MD San's book, and he further emphasized that cyber safety is one aspect that has become increasingly important with time, and degree of our awareness will decide that how will we handle our information. On day one, Uppal San also graced the event with his presence, and his key message was that it is not good enough to be 99.99% cyber safe. It is imperative to also cater to the remaining 0.1%, which matters the most. Then our guest speaker on day one was Mr. Krishna Sastri Pendyala from Ernst and Young, and he emphasized the post-pandemic digitization and how it has caused the havoc in the area of cybersecurity. Then on day two, we had the keynote address by Mr. Pawan Duggal, who is advocate of Supreme Court of India and has been a seasoned practitioner in the field of cybersecurity. And the context setting was done by Shashank Srivastava-san, who emphasized that though we keep on focusing on shorter time to market, faster time to delivery, we often ignore the importance of information security during our process. While he emphasized that we need to imbibe a culture of incorporating information security from the beginning, leaving no opportunities for this hacking industry, which is already $300 billion strong, to further grow at our cost. Mr. Pawan Duggal emphasized that in cyberspace, we need to be careful about electronic dust that we leave behind, the data that we leave behind on various websites, on various internet interactions that we do. It is essential to take measures to enable requisite security features in corporate scenario also. And he urged everyone to be careful of their behavior in cyberspace. On day two, we also had an interesting demonstration of hacking, how easy the hacking has become now, or even the novice hackers which are there floating around in the world. And the monetary impact of these hacking attacks is quite high. and reputational loss to organization is even higher. On day three, we had an interesting session by the Special Commissioner of Delhi Police, Technology and Project Implementation. He, in very simple terms, explained and compared internet to a jungle. As a jungle has the fruits which are sweet and good for our health, there are many animals also, and many of them are harmful and dangerous. Similar is the internet. We need to be as assured and safeguard ourselves entering into internet as we do while entering into a jungle. He also said that in case you have been subjected to a cyber attack, react and respond as soon as possible to minimize the damages. And he gave a link wherein we can lodge a complaint in National Cyber Crime Reporting Portal in case any such thing happens to us. Manjri San emphasized the facts about the phishing, one of the key vectors of cyber security attackers. She quoted an example that in a quarter we receive in MSIL around 45 million emails, which are received at our gateways, but only 40% of those emails are genuine, which finally reach our mailboxes. Kalsi-san also emphasized that the onus of protecting our information lies with us because all said and done, all technologies are implemented there, but uh, we finally are the users of that technology and the onus lies upon us to protect our information. On day four, the station was kickstarted by PK Roy-san, head of production and senior executive director, and he stated a very interesting fact that as the car might be loaded with a lot of technologies and state of art safety features, but it is as safe as the driver who drives it. Similar applies to information security also. So, user behavior is the most critical element of cyber resilience. On day four, our guest lecturer was Mr. Ravindra. He is head of IT and ITS certification as British Standards Institution, India. He emphasized on the basic three key pillars: confidentiality, integrity, and availability in the space of cybersecurity. And he further emphasized that among these, integrity is the most important and controls the other two aspects. He further said the information has been a gold mine for hackers, and the high amount of personal information collected must be very, very secure. We ended the day four with a keynote address by Mr. Sambit Sinha from Ernst& Young, and he stated that everyone is vulnerable when we use technology. We cannot stop attacks, but we can prevent to fall into traps by being cyber aware. So I would like to summarize for all of you the few key takeaways that we all have learned through these sessions. First and foremost is the information is the most important asset, needs to be protected accordingly. Second is the rapid digitization in last 2 years due to this biological pandemic has in a way paved way for the technological pandemic inflicted by extremely skilled, diligent and sophisticated cyber attackers. Even the most advanced technological defense is not enough. The strength of the defense lies in people. Manufacturing is one of the most targeted industries, and hence we need to be extra careful. Maruti Suzuki, being the leader, needs to be even more cautious. And the key to becoming cyber safe is being cyber aware. With this, I will give it back to Akanksha for giving us further insights of the events. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We can move ahead to the next slide, sir. Yeah. So, as Ravi sir has clearly stated that the event was full of active participation from the audiences, and this is quite evident with the numbers as well. The opening ceremony and the keynote address got 1000 plus views and counting on YouTube. The keynote address by Mr. Pavan Duggal had 800 and plus views. Online quiz, this was the real attraction. Here, people joined the quiz at least 15 to 20 minutes before, and they were calling the backend teams that please make the quiz online, please make the quiz online. Such was the hype of the online quiz. The next session, demonstration of hacking. It has 450 plus attendees, including attendees from Maruti, SMG, as well as KPMG team on day 3. The keynote address by Mr. Muktesh Chandar, it has 500 plus views on YouTube and it is still growing. We are expecting it to reach 1,000 views as well. In day 4, the session by Mr. Ravin Nair from BSI, this was a knowledge session with respect to the regulations and with respect to the certification. It has 450 plus views. And combining all this, we have around 3,500 plus footprints and eyeballs of our posters. And as Ravi sir stated, we have multiple app notifications, as well as we had also ran a campaign wherein there was a message which was sounded in Hindi, and whenever the shift starts and ends at Maruti, the message was played. It was widely appreciated by the audience. We can move on to the next slide. So yeah, this is the main slide. These guys are the backbone of the entire event, and the event is as successful as the people into that event put their heart, blood, and soul into it. So, starting, we had Ritesh. I'll start from left to right. I'll speak out the names. The first one is me, then it is Ritesh, Aman, Ravi sir, Harinder, Nishant, Monica, Abhishek, Atul, Pulkita san, Atul, uh, Ashish, Shani, Sunil, Priyam, and Nishan San. These all guys have done a phenomenal job and they have contributed a lot to the success for this event. We can now move on to the next slide, sir. Yeah, quiz. As I stated earlier, this was the main attraction because in this quiz we went a mile ahead and we demonstrated the leaderboard after each and every quiz, which really gave a nail biting experience. What comments and feedbacks we received after the quiz as that you have done a tremendous job, and people were comparing these quizzes to an UPSC exam. We can move on to the next slide, sir. I'll tell you why I'm saying this, because as you can see here, the first and the second people are only have the difference of only 1 point, which means that the first one won because he answered question 001 second early. So this was the hype and the craze of the quiz. We can move on, sir. These are the quiz winners. So for the quiz one, we have Mr. Pratyush Anand, who bagged the number 1 position, followed by Pratik Jain and Harsh Gupta. Quiz 2, Mr. Manish Sabarwal from EN4B bagged the first position, followed by Gaurav Chaudhary, and position 3 was holded by two people, Piyush and Vibhas. Quiz 3, which was conducted yesterday, the first position was bagged by Nukul Bector, followed up by Akash and Navneet Singh Sang. With this, I would again like to hand over the slides to Mr. Ravi Bhushan, AGM IT Operations.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You are
Yeah.
not audible. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Akanksha. As Akanksha said, that every good things comes to an end. Thankfully, this won't just end here. Your enthusiasm has given us the motivation and momentum to take it further. So, as MD San said in his opening speech, the degree of our awareness will determine how well we prepare to address challenges. The message is that we need to keep upgrading our awareness levels. So, in the way forward, we have kept the recordings of the events in e-Gurukul for everyone's consumption. The content will be shared with new joiners at the time of joining. The sessions will further be conducted for our partners, dealers, and vendors so that we do not just stop within the boundaries of MSIL, but we go beyond. The highlights will also be shown in the DCMs in each vertical. The winners that Akanksha just demonstrated will be presented with their trophies in respective verticals. The content will also be available on our YouTube channel. And going with this momentum, we are planning to conduct Information Security Week every year. And seeing this excitement that the quizzes garnered, we will be conducting the quiz every quarter. So, with this message, I'd like to say that सूचना सुरक्षा बनी रहेगी हम सबकी प्राथमिकता, and we need to keep doing our part and for being secure and cyber smart. With this, I would stop my presentation here, and I would request Uppal sir, member executive board, Maruti Suzuki, to come on stage and share his closing remarks with all of us. Thank you, sir.
Uh, Morning, everyone. I think, first of all, big compliments to the whole team for organizing the Security Week. I think the kind of excitement you could create, the kind of quality of speakers you could get and manage that, I think is all commendable job. Great job done by all of you. I think it's really, really a good job done. And also, I'd like to thank all the security coordinators from all verticals, because without their support, security cannot be made effective. Uh, I think the important, as everybody says, security is not technology. It's the people, process, and technology, all three together, and all of three has a very significant role to play. And any miss on any one of them could be disastrous for any one for us. And as I said on the opening day, security doesn't mean that we are 99.99 percent okay. 0.0%, 0.01%, could be, could spoil the whole game altogether again, and we need to be very, very careful of. Now, the security awareness is not a weak exercise. I think this need to be continued as we go along. So one is that we got a very, very rich content and the information which we could collect as part of the process this week. We need to consume that on an ongoing basis. We need to really work along with corporate communication to ensure that security in totality, maybe personal information, company confidential information, the repercussion of loss of company reputation, or the company, even the profitability due to the information security, everyone has to be very, very highly aware of. And also, they should think about security before anything get deployed or anything they do pertaining to this area around and all. And then the the a good job done as a 1 week, but I think this need to be a yearly exercise, or a continuous exercise on an ongoing basis, to ensure that we make a culture of safe, a culture of safety, culture of no, information safety in the whole company. And that's something which is very important for us and all. And this can only be done, and habit only get created if you keep on doing that same thing again and also keep on informing people about their role, their responsibility, their need, what we expect them to do on continuous basis, kind of thing. So maybe doing a fishing simulation exercises, doing small nuggets of the input we got during this period from that and all. But on an ongoing basis, in a very engaging way, we need to have everybody focused on information security, to make this as a habit in each one of the employee of us. That's the objective on which we're working on. Thank you so much once again, the whole IT operations team. Thanks so much, the whole security team. Thank you so much, the whole security coordinates once again. Thanks, Kausar. Thanks, Ravi and Akansha and everybody in the team. And then maybe I not named anybody who done a great job in this, but I think it's a big team effort by all of you to successfully concluding the security week. Thank you so much. Back to the team.
Thank you, Upal sir, for your kind remarks and appreciation. And we thank you everyone for joining in, and thanks for your time that you gave uh, during this week. We look forward to see you again in another event. And thanks from all of us as of now. Thank you.